2x2 and under glorious sunshine here at one of the most incredible circuits, not just on our calendar, but anywhere in the world. We are green, we are racing here at Laguna Seca on the run down to turn 2, and look at the lead that Alex Palou has already, and Colton Herta makes the move on Pato O'Ward, and Herta trying to make his way up to second position and has second position already from Pato O'Ward, which is precisely the opposite of what the McLaren man needed. And someone's off at the back, it's a Prema. One of the Premas is off into the gravel, so too Connor Daly for Juncos Hollinger Racing will get back round, get back out on the track. That's Robert Schwartzman in the other Prema, but Alex Palou with the lead over Colton Herta. Pato O'Ward, then Josef Newgarden is fourth, and Christian Lundgaard already on the rear wing. Oh, and it's a big one for Kevin Simpson, and out goes Felix Rosenqvist as well.
That's turn 6, the trickiest corner on the racetrack. The narrow entry there leaves very little room for two cars side by side.
On board with Felix Rosenqvist.
Oh yeah, you can hear it.
We are green, we are racing, bouncing over the curbs goes Colton Herta. Pato O'Ward follows him with Josef Newgarden, Will Power, David Malukas, Lundgaard, Rahal, Foster and Rasmussen, the top 10 running down to 2. Malukas having a look at the back of Will Power.
Palou got wide. Alex Palou blew the brake zone there, allowed Colton Herta to draw closer. Palou almost going off the racetrack. It's so dirty out wide there. That was really close stuff for Palou.
Well, that's just it. I mean, you're seeing it on your camera right now. There's no grass off the racetrack here. It is all dust. It is all dirt. And so that often finds its way onto the racetrack. And so anything off the racing line usually has a little bit of the remnants from a gust of wind that'll blow some of this dust onto the track. So Palou, big risk there, throwing himself that wide that early.
In terms of tyre life, the hards should last around as long as the softs. The difference between the two, the soft is so much faster, and that is why O'Ward has to find a way through Herta at his earliest possible opportunity to stop Alex Palou from running away and hiding in the lead of this race.
The difference is supposed to come around lap 15 to 20 in that range, where the soft tire actually starts to be slower than the harder black tire. So Colton Herta, the job is be patient. We see the driver's eye view thanks to Arrow here for Pato O'Ward. He's on that soft tire. It's a used soft tire, but he would love to make a move here early while he has an advantage.
Christian Lundgaard shaping up David Malukas in the back of our picture and trying to go around the outside of Malukas, but Malukas holds position and holds firm ahead for the time being. But Lundgaard, he said yesterday when he was on our Indy Next coverage that he'd be going on the charge, and he is on the charge, and he's up to 6th place on David Malukas as Rasmussen, always exciting, gets his rears out onto the gravel, and now Graham Rahal tries to go round the outside of Malukas on the run back up the hill, and Malukas says not right now as Rasmussen now takes advantage and takes the position from Graham Rahal. Rasmussen always so incredibly exciting. 2 wheels off a moment ago, 1 position made up a few moments later.
I'll tell you what, guys, turn 4 as we see Malukas there trying to get a move back done or defend
VK.
against.
VK.
Oh, sorry. Too many white and blue cars. But no, that move from Lundgaard into 4. 4's not a brake zone. You barely lift going into turn 4. It's just a breathe of the throttle. So very aggressive, decisive move from Lundgaard to pull that off. And then that just really checked up Malukas and caused this whole situation here on board now with Graham Rahal. He's got those softs, going to try to go around the outside, but Malukas just shuts the door.
It leaves him enough room. There's a wide exit curve there, but now Graham Rahal's checked up, and there goes Christian Rasmussen. And now no hesitation out of this guy. If he sees even a tear in the covers, he is going in.
Jacob Abel's day is done. The AMR IndyCar safety team on the scene, but the 24-year-old from Louisville, Kentucky will go no further today. Disappointing for him, but it's down at turn 2 at the hairpin that he found his way into the barrier, and sadly for him, out of the race. Tricky, really tricky rookie season for him, and is that on his own? I didn't see anybody too far around him.
There's a ton of runoff down there, and it looked like he was pretty far right. You have to wonder, was there a brake issue on the 51?
I was just going to say that, because that's That's well off track, and he's still going. I mean, you can see the fronts kind of locking up as he's skipping.
It looks like stuck throttle, James. It was almost the rears were still spinning. Oh yeah,
something's gone.
I think he's got a stuck throttle.
And even if it's just a fraction, you know, you can just get the throttle pedal hung up a little bit. As we see a few cars now dive to pit lane. Malukas looks like Lundgaard, Scott Dixon,
and Rinus VK at the front.
Did I call VK Malukas again? Rookie day, sorry.
In comes Scott Dixon onto the softs. For Scott Dixon, also for Nolan Siegel, VK onto the hards. Connor Daly taking the opportunity to stop for a second time. Herta critically in.
No.
Oh, that's not Herta.
That's
My apologies. That's Kirkwood again with the similar liveries. You have Herta and VK. I'll have Herta and Kirkwood. You have
guys. Let's
Malukas
take a look at
and
this
VK.
replay of Jacob Abel again with the 51. Tires are turned, and I see all the gravel coming off the rear tire backwards. I think the throttle's still on.
Palou brings us back to green, then hits the hammer now on the run down to 11. The challenge for Pato O'Ward remains the same. Get past Herta, go after Palou. The challenge for Palou remains the same as ever it was. Gap the field and take this thing into his own hands.
All these laps under yellow are kind of playing into the hands of Colton Herta here, as it's shortening the laps that he's got to do on the hards, as McLaughlin trying to make moves around Foster on the outside. Same with Ericsson side by side there with Armstrong.
And Ferrucci trying to take advantage of that. Gets Ericsson, has a look at Armstrong. And here comes Alexander Rossi around the outside of them both. Talking to Santino Ferrucci, who had to sit out the last race in Toronto. His hand still not up to being 100%. Had to have some injections to try to take down the inflammation. He said he could barely turn the wheel yesterday in his car, so painful was his hand after that accident. And Malukas coming under pressure now from Graham Rahal. McLaughlin secures the move on Louis Foster.
Again, tough place to do it. Turn 6, not a huge brake zone, but just a great run up the hill out of 5 from McLaughlin. And now O'Ward back in the hunt of Colton Herta. But let's take a look at that exchange down into turn 3 on board the Java House machine of Rossi. You see Ericsson into the inside. Even on the hards, he rolls around the outside, but he drops 2 wheels, couldn't make it stick.
That's the risk of going outside, especially at Laguna. Really no banking to help you except in turn 9, and so easy to get pushed off in the dirt.
Scotty Mack on a charge. Great exit from the final corner, taking a look at Graham Rahal, who sit on board with a driver of the number 3, trying to go around the outside where it is grippy, but Rahal isn't going to give him the space or the opportunity. But McLaughlin says, I'll take it from you anyway.
Whoa.
Oh, will I? Trying to get through. And Rahal putting up a great defensive drive there in 9th place. Palou stays out. Herta stays out.
He's on the button. You saw his thumb go down. You see those green lights illuminate. That's pushed it past. You just heard him say he's going to undercut us.
Yeah.
So Colton wants the pit.
I agree with him.
100%. I'm surprised they didn't come in that lap.
I mean, we're lap 25. You're well in range to bail on that hard tire. Marcus Armstrong says, I'm done on the blacks.
Yeah, when it's not the preferred tire, why do an extra lap?
Clear off.
Clear stop for the MSR crew with Marcus Armstrong.
See where Marcus Armstrong blends out here.
Oh, and VK. And VK was in a battle with Dixon and Kirkwood over what is 7th place.
Turn 3 again. We saw that catch out guys at practice. We saw Connor and Schwartzman go off there earlier.
And who does this hurt? Colton Herta. Didn't get in.
Didn't pit.
If the yellow comes out. They might leave it open.
Palou's in just before pit lane closes, if indeed they are going to close it. Jack, call him in.
He's coming down pit lane. The advantage of starting on that new tyre gave the team the ability to see what they wanted. They're going to go with the hard tyre, and this is going to be a really, really important outlap here.
Kevin's in as well. Kevin.
Newgarden made the U-softs last very well. He's going to another U-set, so he's got a sticker set still to go, Georgia.
Herta takes the primaries off. They put a scuff set of reds on one turn at front wing. He's got open out.
Will Power on pit lane 2.
coming now. You feed it to the
All
flag
right,
line.
let's see if the undercut worked for Pato Award.
There he comes, there he comes on the left of your screen. He'll be at the bottom as he rolls through to Award with the advantage of the softer tire, with the heat now into his tires. Past the yellow zone and off and after Colton Herta on the cold rubber. Now or never for Pato Award to make the undercut work. Yes, Colton Herta has the track position, but Award has the faster car and the warmer rubber.
Yellow.
And now it's a caution, and all of that hard work, all of that risk, ultimately rewarding for Colton Herta. Now with Kirkwood, having a look up the inside of the Dutchman. It's a nice line through there. They run too wide, almost contact, a little bit of contact there. And then on the run down in, and just punts him straight off and into the gravel.
Kirkwood was committed here. He was going inside come hell or high water, and I don't think he expected VK to be as narrow as he was. So when he went for that slice, he thought VK was going to go and he was going to surprise Renus VK. It just didn't work out for Kirkwood. He will probably get a drive-through.
Nolan Siegel leads the field. He is on the same strategy as Dixon, Kirkwood, and Eilop behind. They have already made a stop. They were the first ones to stop, but Siegel, unlike the others, went soft-stopped. He still has to run the hard tire as he gets very sideways out of 11. Alex Palou in second place and hunting him down. That was the first lap led of Nolan Siegel's career. How long can he hang on, though, from the championship leader as Lundgaard tries to put the pass on his teammate Pato O'Ward, and O'Ward can ill afford to lose another position, but that's exactly what he will do to his teammate.
I think Alex Palou has a great run going to turn 5 as somebody dropped wheels there. Nolan Siegel getting some great experience. This is his home track. Grew up in Palo Alto, California, just up the road. Family and friends are here this weekend. Huge moment for the young driver.
Kirkwood has been given a stop and go penalty. The man who currently sits in 4th place for that incident with Renus VK. We sit on board with the NTT data car, taking a look back at Alex Palou. That yellow and red car looming large in your mirrors is the one person you don't want back there.
And we finally get to see what kind of pace does Alex Palou have on the hard tire. Scott Dixon on board here thanks to PNC Bank. Looks like Alex Palou gets off turn 11 just fine on the harder tire, James.
Well, it's a brand new one as well. Dixon last pit on lap 12. So these are older, soft tires. They started life as a sticker set. It was a brand new set for Scott. So they should be holding on all right. But it's just showing that when you're not in clean air on the preferred tire, Palou's not completely unbeatable, as Rasmussen now trying to make it work on the outside, gets it done on the Prema of Robert Schwartzman.
Lovely move, great stuff. There is a theory here that those drivers who stopped early on lap 12 can make it with just 2 more stops. They'll need a couple of cautions in order to do so. But Siegel, Dixon and Eilop looking good.
As the fuel's being forced in, it creates a vacuum. It evacuates the air.
Townsend, I'm sorry, but Palou's going for the lead of Nolan Siegel, and he's got it with a wonderful move around the outside of turn 3. Beautiful stuff from the championship leader to take that lead away from Nolan Siegel. And it was only really a matter of time for Alex Palou, who had been cutting that lead in, cutting that gap back.
Smooth, man. Great job.
Instinctive and bold from the championship leader on the hard tire versus what is now a pretty worn, pretty old set of softs on that car of Nolan Siegel, the 20-year-old Californian who had driven so beautifully, really having a good season on road courses this year. Of course, started from the 2nd row back in mid-Ohio. And look, he just goes to the outside, senses the grip is there, gets a brilliant run off the corner. And that's brave going around the outside.
Incredibly brave, super high risk for Alex Palou. If he drops a wheel, it is game over for Alex Palou, as Nolan Siegel says, I am done with the softs, Jack. Come to you.
Yeah, done with the soft and getting ready to put on these hard brand new tires. Going to flow some Shell 100% renewable fuel. This is Nolan leading the race for the first time. It's also his home race. Got to be a special moment, no doubt, for him.
And Townsend, that's exactly what you were talking about with the Dallara cutaway car. The fuel flow heading in, all those 80.5 liters.
Yeah, 7 seconds. You think about how long it takes you at the pump. It's gallons. 18.5 gallons in just 7 seconds. And now Nolan Siegel onto those fresh hard tires. But Alex Palou, James, finds himself in a familiar place. Clean air at the front, half a lap to the next, to the lap car in front of him. But I'm watching Scott Dixon, guys.
Me too.
This is one of those Dixie type days. Might not be a win based on his teammates' pace, but if he ends up on the podium, are you kidding me? Another brilliant job from the 9.
But he's got some big pressure from Colton Herta, who desperately needs to get around him to not let Alex Palou get too far ahead.
And as we look back, or as we were looking back, there's another orange car in the back of that shot who is catching these two at pace, and that is the McLaren of Christian Lundgaard, who made his way past Pato O'Ward, and there he is, right there in the papaya and black McLaren. He's got himself past Callum Ilott. He's catching these two up. He only pitted a couple of laps before the likes of Alex Palou and Pato O'Ward. He's made up a huge number of places compared to those who started ahead of him, as now Herta takes the place away from Scott Dixon.
Dixon's on those old tires, but he's hanging on. Scott knows he needs to get to a certain lap number, maybe lap 42, to be able to make it on just one more stop.
And guys, look at this. Colton Herta had to use an awful lot of his 150 seconds of push to pass in order to get around Scott Dixon, but that was crucial. So now let's see what kind of pace Colton Herta has in clean air compared to Palou up ahead, who's right now 5.8 seconds behind. And now Lundgaard.
Oh, is he going? He is up the inside of the corkscrew. Lundgaard, that's magnificent. I love that. Here he comes into pit lane now. Race leader, championship leader, Alex Palou pulls the pin now, and Jack Harvey will be waiting for him.
I am, Will, and as Townsend said, they want to cover against any potential yellow. They so nearly got caught out by that incident with Rinus VeeKay. The U-Soft is going to be going on. As always, this looks like a really clean stop for the 10. Georgia, what's happening where you are?
26 laps on the scuffed reds. They're going to do more of the same this time. They're going to put scuffed reds right back on. A tear off, and it looks like a part actually rolled away from the 26 car, but he's down.
Slight delay on the front right. Looked like the wheel nut just fell off, but they got that back on in time. Palou comes out. That's Will Power just riding through. Felix Rosenqvist behind him. And Power now moves into the de facto lead of this race, but needs to make another stop. Herta still with about that 5-second gap to Alex Palou. So it's as you were at the front once Power takes his stop. It was a move, and it's so good we've decided to make it the Pennzoil moment of the race.
Look at this, just huge commitment, lunging in on Colton Herta. They had contact at the exit, and that would have been a surprise for Colton Herta.
Surprise for us, didn't realize that it happened.
We haven't seen many moves pulled off there so far this race, this weekend really. It's kind of been a little bit of a quiet corner. And Pato O'Ward doing exactly what he needs to do to fight back.
Something must have gone wrong for Callum Ilott at some point, maybe on pit lane. But O'Ward put about 4 seconds on the transition there.
We're right on board. Thanks to Arrow. There's Rasmussen in pit lane. He's been having a good day. As McLaughlin comes in behind him, and now Palou has found traffic. He's got a lot of traffic.
This is risky.
It would make sense to dive in now. Don't see anyone from the 10 crew over pit wall setting up. So it looks like at least one more tour for the 10.
And he does stay out.
Losing track time.
That Schwartzman and Rahal ahead of him needs to get past them both. They don't have to get out of his way. How difficult, though, will they make life for Alex Palou? Schwartzman won't make it too difficult. Now comes the call to pit. So Lundgaard leads Herta by around 7 seconds. Will Power behind them, and Marcus Armstrong, Newgarden, Dixon, Ericsson, Rossi, and Rasmussen, the top 10.
Maybe we'll get an answer here on Callum Ilott on what happened. Here's the pit stop. Watch the right rear. The air jack doesn't appear to be going up right away.
Yeah, it took a while for that car to get off the ground. You saw the tire changers tugging on the tires, but with the car still weighted, they weren't going anywhere. So trouble getting the wand in the back of the car and get the car in the air.
It's about 3 seconds now, the gap between O'Ward's and Ilott. And O'Ward's outlap was about a second quicker.
Little wiggle there from Alex Palou on entry. These are anxious moments. One last pit stop.
Hit.
And it looks like they're going to escape any dramas with an untimely yellow.
About 32 seconds, the gap over Lundgaard. More than enough time to come in and get service. Jack, this could be the race-winning pit stop.
Absolutely could be. Well, this is going to be the final one of the day for the number 10 of Alex Palou. Hits his marks perfectly like you would expect. Barry Wanzer told me pre-race, the strategy today, go as long as you can for as long as possible to shorten up this last stint.
Well, it's perfectly on time. Lap 72, exactly as predicted.
So he'll have to go 22 laps here as he crosses the start-finish line at click lap 73, but he's on those used reds.
As all the pit stops have kind of happened, this is a really fantastic day for Callum Eilert and the 90, fresh off of what has been his best finish in Toronto the previous weekend. Actually seeing Zach Marcus Ericsson seems to have had a spin around somewhere.
He has made Exeter 6 on the way up to the corkscrew.
That is a very strange place to be stopped. So far out of turn 6 up the hill. I wonder how this happened. High centered on that exit curve and then chased it all the way up the hill.
So lucky to not continue going drivers left and be collected by another car. That could have been much, much worse for the driver of the 28 who still stopped there. Not sure why
White 7.
I don't know how we're not under caution.
Well,
they're trying to get it going. These hybrid systems allow these Indy cars to restart, but being on such a fast part of the racetrack, kind of broadside for as long as he has been.
Very dangerous spot here.
It's literally
it's so easy to drop wheels in turn 6, as we've seen so many drivers. You could end up right there. This is
how is there no? I don't understand this. There's no yellow. There's a yellow out. I mean, there's a local yellow. I mean, that is literally pointing up the hill,
and it's
to
blind
a blind
as well.
crest.
Yeah,
it's blind.
This is. I don't understand this.
He's waiting for a gap to get his car rolling. The problem is there's not a gap.
Okay, that's why
we've got a lot of errors here. We're showing a lot of errors. We're trying to work through something to tell you here.
Yeah, he's not waiting. His car's not running.
Yeah,
that car is dead stick. And
this needs to go caution.
Good time for a caution.
This needed to go caution some time ago.
This is.
And there it goes.
Around turn 11 for another time. Palou already has a gap. Already is extending as he punches the throttle. And look at Pato O'Ward. All over the rear wing of Scott Dixon. Dixon having to defend. Eilert having to defend from Rasmussen. And Rasmussen, tucked up behind the Prema, can find no way through. O'Ward takes a little bit of gravel, and that will allow Eilert just a sniff of the rear wing of the McLaren as the Penske drivers fight over the last remaining places in the top 10.
I think we're starting to see the advantage for Colton Herta on tires come to the front as he's all over the back of Christian Lundgaard here, trying to make that tire advantage work. Let's just ride and listen here. Gainbridge on board tells us it's full send. He makes an adjustment on the steering wheel, James, and we'll see as Lundgaard starts to look at the back of Lundgaard car is sliding all over the place, fighting to hang on.
And even with that caution, Lundgaard did pit on the very early side of this. There's still a bit of a fuel save, I imagine, happening on the number 7. So even though these two are pretty even on push to pass, 44 for Lundgaard, 45 for Herta, I'd be surprised if Lundgaard was allowed to be quite as liberal with it as Herta is right now.
Lundgaard on the save, Dixon on the save, Eilert on the save. Everybody else has the ability to push with 13 to go at Laguna Seca.
Advantage for Colton Herta really seems to be on the brakes.
Here comes
this guy,
Ferrucci.
Santino Ferrucci out, breaks Kyle Kirkwood to go side by side.
Nice move.
Clear.
Nice move from Ferrucci as Daly and Rossi do battle ahead of them, and Foster on his birthday gets the move done on Stingray Rob. Look up ahead. Herta with 31 seconds of push to pass to go. Lundgaard with 41. Palou still with 78. So this is into 11. And that's Rossi putting the move on Ferrucci. Oh, whoa, boy, which allowed Malukas through and contact with Rossi.
And look at that, Malukas goes through. And now Kirkwood and Ferrucci side by side, no love lost between those two, and that's how Stingray was able to kind of get a little bit of a run, then checked up.
And they say yellows breed yellows, but in that case, everybody fighting hard, but we remain green with 12 to go now as we take a look back at Nolan Siegel in the NTT Data McLaren. And this a replay of Siegel. Oh, big up and in to Louis Foster. Oh, and a spin on the exit of the corkscrew.
Kept his foot buried in it. You can just see side by side, Foster not giving him quite enough racing room there, and then he just collided into the side of him. Really nothing Siegel could do.
It is Lundgaard who has impressed as Santino Ferrucci spins and is off, and that is at the top of the hill at the corkscrew.
We saw Josef Newgarden buried here in practice. He was not able to get going.
Back under yellow.
And Ferrucci, you could see the car beach there, the rear wheels turning, just lost it on his own.
Oh boy.
The car gets very light as you come up over the crest.
Rossi was lucky.
Woo. Definitely lucky to avoid getting taken out there. But yeah, the car you crest there gets very light. Just listen.
On board with Petroactive.
Oh boy.
When we restart, we are back to green running. And once again, it's a perfect run for Alex Palou. It's a little wobble for Lundgaard. But O'Ward with the run on Scott Dixon as he had at the last restart. He has again, and Dixon defends. And O'Ward now up to the inside of Scott Dixon, who runs deep. And the McLaren man will try to take the advantage of that, and so too will Callum Ilott. Ilott looks to the outside, but O'Ward gets the position and gets the job done. Now the Prema man all over the back of the six-time champion here in the NTT INDYCAR Series. Ilott with a best career result of fifth. A fifth place that came here at Laguna Seca, now under pressure from Rasmussen. Has to defend. Rasmussen has a great advantage running up the hill. Can he take advantage? He can't for the moment.
Christian Rasmussen with a huge slide through the middle of turn 5, just hung on to it. Was trying to cross up Callum Ilott. Meanwhile, Scott Dixon there going into turn 2, made a swerve over at Pato O'Ward, and it cost him. Dixon made the swerve and then ran wide in the brake zone, allowing Pato to duck in.
A twitch from Dixon on the run down the hill. Edgy moments with 8 to go. It'll be 7 over the line here in Monterey. And Herta still hunting down Lundgaard for second. Oh, power, slow out of the final corner. That'll give Marcus Armstrong a phenomenal opportunity on the run down into turn 2. As Herta all over the rear wing of Christian Lundgaard. Has Armstrong been able to find anything for Will Power? He's on the inside of him. But nothing doing yet as McLaughlin has a look at his teammate coming through the corner. McLaughlin and Newgarden go wheel to wheel and side by side. The right-hander should be McLaughlin's for the taking. And indeed, it is. Oh, and someone's had 2 wheels off, or are they completely off? Huge amount of dust kicked up. Alex Palou has led from day one, and with this kind of a performance, puts one hand firmly back onto the Asta Challenge Cup. Stand back and admire him. Stand up and applaud him. He has been perfect. What a performance. Utter perfection once again from Alex Palou. 8 wins in a season. Sensational.
I don't know. Honestly, what an amazing job by everybody at CGR, at Honda, DHL for giving us everything we needed to be as fast as we were. It's been an awesome weekend, awesome year overall. But yeah, today was something else. It was super fun to be here. One of my favorite tracks for sure. Couldn't be happier right now.
How were you able to re-strategize under those late yellows?
Yeah, I mean, it was not easy. Like, we had to push, we had to try and be ready for those yellows. We knew that we were not on the best conditions on tires, especially the 26. I was waiting for him to come back at the end, but yeah, luckily we had enough pace to open a small gap and get the win.
Up next is the BitNile.com Grand Prix of Portland, Sunday, August 10th at 3 p.m. Eastern on Fox.